Some of you may or may not know about the ongoing terrorist attacks that the people of Kenya have been enduring for their religious beliefs. On September 21st, 2013, the Westgate Mall, located in Nairobi, was attacked by members of a terrorist group known as Al Shabaab, whom opened fire on the mall civilians, executing over 60 people and injuring many more. On April 2nd, 2015, Garissa University College, also located in Kenya, was attacked by the same group, and they managed to kill 147 students before they were stopped. I have pictures of that siege here with me, of the Westgate Mall and also the school. This is the mall before the attack. This is the mall after the attack. You can see a lot of things were damaged and turned over. A lot of places were looted. And also from the school, I have the pictures of the casualties. So I will warn you, it is a bit graphic. These senseless acts of violence have affected the lives of many people and are sadly showing no signs of end. I personally, being Kenyan American, am greatly affected by this issue. I am terrified when I hear these attacks occur in Kenya because I have a lot of family and friends back there, and the thought of any one of them becoming a victim scares me to death. It truly breaks my heart to see so many innocent people continue to fall victim because of baseless reasons like the color of their skin or their religious belief. Kenya is not the only country suffering from becoming ensnared in terrorism. And also, Al Shabaab is clearly not the only terrorist organization that currently exists in our world. There are many others, like Al Qaeda and ISIS, that share the same tactics of using threats, coercion, and violence to terrorize and threaten many other countries abroad for their own purposes. Even though this issue mostly occurs in what is considered a third world country, it could very easily transgress to the US due to our right of freedom of religion, and it is not simply an idea, it can become an actuality. Terrorism targets the heartbeat of all nations, the lives of all people, and our very own way of life. In the midst of such overwhelming danger, we must uproot the people who pose such a large threat to not just our country, but our world itself. Today, we will touch on what terrorism is, how the presence of terrorism is affecting us, and how you could help alleviate this. According to dictionary.com, terrorism is the use of violence to intimidate or coerce others for the purpose of achieving goals. This strategy that terrorists commonly aim for is to commit acts of violence and crime with hopes that it would draw in the attention of the general public, the government, and the entire world to their cause. Terrorists coordinate their strikes in a way intended to capture the most publicity, effectively choosing targets that symbolize the opposition of what they believe in. The overall impact of their actions do not reflect upon the crime itself, but instead the general public and the government's reaction to the offense. A good example of this would be the attack on the Westgate Mall that I mentioned earlier. The 60 innocent people were the casualties to this crisis, but the intended target was us. The millions of people present in that country and also the people who were tuning in worldwide. They tried to instill fear onto the public, which is the sheer true purpose of terrorism. Al Shabaab succeeded in doing so because they not only got the attention of Kenyans, but also the attention of the world as well with his attack. Once that fear is attained, they would manipulate that fear towards achieving their demands. In this case, according to Bruton from DefenseOne.com, the violence was intended as a consequence for having the Kenyan military present in Somalia, which would have been a catastrophe for the world. Why, you ask? Well, Al Shabaab joined forces with one of the most feared and well known terrorist groups. Yes, I'm talking about the Al Qaeda. So if Al Shabaab seized control of Somalia and made it a safe haven for their efforts, that would give Al Qaeda full access as well, which would mean the entire world would be at siege. They could and would organize airstrikes, nuclear weaponry, ballistic missiles on any target worldwide, including the US. No place would be safe from their reach. Now that you have an idea of what terrorism is, let us discuss on how this issue is affecting us. The war on terror affects the whole world equally. Many of us Americans and also other people around the world are equally afraid. The war is currently outside of our territory, but it still continues to pose a threat to us. We have all experienced a traumatic effect in our event in our countries that have instilled this fear inside us. For us, it was the event of 9/11. This catastrophe affected us greatly. It made us overly cautious and insecure, and mostly made us question our safety. Before the attack, we never really thought much about the concept of travel, like, for example, a plane trip. We would just hop in and go to wherever we needed to go. But now, we're still questioning our safety in our very own country, and that is not an ideal way for us to live. Survival and security are one of our most important basic elements that we, as humans, need to live comfortably, and the war on terror has stripped us of these two. If the war continues, and if we were to allow this threat to secure a footholding, the world would be thrown into complete chaos. So therefore, we need to come together as one to avoid this. Please let the events like the West Hill Mall siege and the Garissa shooting be one of the last issues of terrorism that we hear. The solution to this problem comes from raising awareness and the need for the issue at hand to be addressed, and this could be realized through writing letters to either the House of Representatives, Congress, or the governor to support countries like Kenya in their efforts against terrorism. By incorporating and exercising this solution, we would take a very large step in solving one of the biggest problems humanity faces today. We are suffering from the war on terror and want the feeling of being secure back in our lives once more. We need to take a stand and act now to not only ensure the safety of our country, but to also make our world a brighter and better place for ourselves and also our future generations to come. Thank you, and once again, here is my audience. Oops, there goes your mic. I also want to say I really enjoyed this class. I want to thank you, Professor, for everything, and I wish you all good luck in your future endeavors. Goodbye.